Hey guys, welcome back to the Snapring Chronicles. Today we're coming back at you with another Ratchet video. Today's Ratchet is a Urea or Urea. Ratchet, not sure how to pronounce that. It's Urrea, and conventional wisdom is that they're they come from or they're situated in Mexico, because I've seen a couple of their ratchets and ones I've seen online, and that said that were marked made in Mexico, and a lot of them followed the proto style of ratchet, that the proto with the two swinging pawls, one on either side. It seemed like they were like direct copies of that. Most of the ones I've seen out there, but except for this one. This one looks to be a little bit different in design, and there's another surprise in this ratchet. But before we jump into it, if you find these videos at all helpful or entertaining, could you please give me a like and also subscribe to this channel. Okay, here we have it. This is a 1/4 inch, and the name has quarter before it. Here it has the 1/4 numbers there, and the name of the company, Urea or Urea, not sure. But the surprise here is that this one is made in the USA, and which is kind of I don't know, not sure what the pedigree of these ratchets are, if they were actually proto, if they were licensed from proto, the design or whatever, or the factories were taken over in Mexico where proto was produced, and the ubiquitous proto ratchet was produced where they made direct copies of it. I gotta delve into this more, but usually more often than not, if you run across a ratchet with Urea on it, it's usually made in Mexico. But this one is a little bit different. Don't know who made this. I doubt the company actually made this ratchet themselves in the US, or maybe somebody else made it for them. Like I said, I don't know what kind of relationship they have with proto, but this doesn't, off the top, this doesn't really look like a proto ratchet, not one that I've seen. This might, I'm saying might with quotes, this might be a Stanley ratchet, just from the feel of it, the switch, the lettering. It gives me like a Stanley feel. But let's look a little bit deeper. This handle is very nice. The knurling, you can see from top to bottom, it's all uniform and very nice for a 1/4 inch. A lot of companies, you see, some of it'll be thin up here and thicker down here. This is all uniform knurling all the way down, which is a nice touch for a 1/4 inch. And here's the bottom. You can see it's pretty, the chrome on this is pretty thick. It's like a good depth of chrome here. And this is a quick release, so, and it has the little plunger that goes in and out. And this is held together. Oh, and this looks like a bat wing because the paw, because when you do ratchet, you see the switch is moving, and this looks like it's full of grease, and I'm thinking this came from the factory like that. I don't think anybody opened this up. I could be wrong, but just I just think that this is what came from the factory and it hasn't been opened. So I'm gonna get a napkin here so I won't make a mess. And these are Phillips screws to open it up, and we're using a number 0 3-inch by our favorite company, Pittsburgh. So Pittsburgh screwdriver. Let's open this up and see what's inside. These are the screws. You can see there's a little bit of Loctite there, and they're well greased, these screws. You can see there they have that sheen of kind of heavy oil or grease. And next screw. Same thing. A little bit of Loctite, and they are well greased. All right. Push out the gear, and the plate pops out. And here is your plate. It's a pretty thick plate. You see the grease here. It's pretty thick, and it isn't one of those it's got a good odor to it. This grease is not one of those non-smelling grease. There's a screw sticking to the ratchet. Okay, here's your gear. The gear, you can see it's like well saturated with grease, and they are 30 teeth on this gear, which makes it pretty coarse. This looks pretty new. Doesn't look much wear at all on this gear. Everything, the paint, everything looks intact. The teeth don't look like they've been engaged too much with the pawl. And here is the inside of the mechanism. Pretty good. Everything looks clean. All the lines and the broaching looks okay. You can see there's a good amount of grease there. Everything is coated. And this pawl, you can see the pawl here. The switch has been peened in place there, and you can take a look at the pawl. So I'm not going to remove the pawl. I'm going to leave it like that, but there's a ball with a spring underneath the ball, and that's what facilitates the switching action. And you can feel the grease when you switch this. There's not much click or anything in it, so there's that. But you can see where the switch, the post of the switch was peened there in the middle of the pawl. This pawl has 2 teeth per side. You can see there. And when this ratchets, it's very quiet with all that grease in there. You can hear it, but it's very quiet. You don't hear the rattle. So yeah, and this switch, it's like I said before, like I'm thinking this is Stanley. The switch looks kind of Stanley-ish to me. If you look at that, and the other things I said, like Kind of like the lettering. Looks a bit Stanley to me. Okay, to put this back together, you just drop your gear in there, and you take your plate, drop that there, and the plate is pretty tight, so probably have to mash it in place. Take your screws, screw them in, not too tight. These are pretty tiny screws and you don't want to strip them out unless you want to go hunting for tiny screws, so I would just leave it at that. And again, you can't really hear it switching because of all the grease, and you can hardly hear it ratcheting, which could be a good thing. I guess some people like a quiet ratchet. So there you go. It's like I said, it was 32, so this is a fairly coarse style ratchet. But as far as 1/4-inch ratchets goes, this one seems pretty heavy duty. Has the batwing pawl, only 30 teeth, and this is pretty thick here. The wall, I forgot to show you, but the walls here on the opposing side of the pawl are pretty thick, and this handle is pretty decent size for a 1/4-inch ratchet. And just so we can know, let me get a ruler out real quick so we can take a measurement of this. And this measures in at 5.5 inches. So yeah, kind of, I don't know, in my opinion, kind of a mystery ratchet. Like I said, Urea, mostly made in Mexico. I think they might have, don't quote me, but I think they might have some ratchets also made in Taiwan. But this one's made in the USA, supposedly. Has the letters there, USA, so kind of a, I don't know, kind of an anomaly, maybe. But interesting nonetheless. Urea, I know, I kind of got a lot of good feedback. I think I did one video on a Urea ratchet, but that one was patterned after the Proto ratchet, the famous Proto ratchet, but this one's a bit different. Alright guys, until next time.